Let me show you how to make a quick and easy table runner for your Canada Day dinner. Hi, I'm Velma from Laurie's Country Cottage, and today I'm going to show you how to make a 20-minute table runner. These table runners are quick and easy, and like I said, they only take 20 minutes. So let's get started with one here now. And what I'm going to do first of all is to show you, you need 2 pieces of fabric, a 1/2 meter of fabric for your backing and 0.3 of a meter of fabric for your center. So what you're going to do first of all is take your fabric, and you want to make sure that it's square, because if it's not square, your table runner is going to have a twist in it. So take your 2 selvage ends and you're going to put them together. And as you can see here at the bottom, I do have quite a bit of a runkle going on there. And you're just going to keep scooting the selvage edge along the top here until it's nice and square. And you can see how much we're out on the sides. So once you've got that laying nice and flat, then you're going to lay it down onto your mat. And I've already straightened the backing. So I've got it laid here on the mat. You're going to take and line up one of your lines along the folded edge. That ensures that your ruler is straight. Just check your piece at the side, and you want to scoot it back a little bit so they get both layers in there. And then you're just going to cut that off. And you're going to do the same on the other side. You'll have to turn your mat. Again, line up a line with your folded edge, double checking that you've got both layers of fabric here. And cut. Good way to check is always just make sure you've got a full strip there. So that's our back piece ready. And we'll take our cream that we already straightened as well, or that we're going to straighten. Lay your ruler on here. And again, we're way in, so we got to make sure we're catching that underside. Cut that off, one full strip. Again, line up your folded edge with a line on your ruler. And cut. Now you're going to take those 2 pieces of fabric, and this is the new O Canada 8 from Northcott that we just received. And you're going to lay these 2 pieces right sides together, and we're going to stitch down both sides. So we'll go down this side first. So here we are ready to sew the 2 edges together. I've laid the pieces right sides together, and I'm going to stitch down the long side, keeping your edges even, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you can pin these if you like, but we are going to square it up in the end. Don't worry if the ends don't match. If you have 2 different lines of fabric, they probably won't. And once you get to the end, you can go press if you like, or just now you're going to take this full piece and join it with the other side. And you always want to join the side that's the same length, not the end that's not the same length, because then you'll be putting these together and now you've got to twist again. So always make sure you put the same top together to start sewing. There, so now you have your two pieces together. And what has happened is now you have a tube. So what we're going to do now is press these towards your outer border, which is what the backing comes around and forms an outer border. So now we're going to press these towards the outer border and then press the borders. So I've made a small one here, and so what this one is from a fat quarter, you're going to cut a 12-inch piece and a 6-inch piece and sew them together just like we did with the large one. So now I've got my seams pressed towards my border, and we're just going to clean up the top and the bottom here. So lay it nice and flat, getting your ruler again even with your seam allowance or the fold. Cut that end off. And this is like I was saying, that you might not have a piece that they match. So now it doesn't matter because we're going to lay this on here, line up the fold with our ruler and cut this off. So now this is nice and straight. So now what we're going to do, and I have a little ruler that I just like to use. So we're just going to measure from the seam out. Actually, we need to flip this right side out first. So here's our little runner, which the big one is exactly the same. This is just in miniature. And on the big one, your borders are going to measure about 1 3/4 inches. On this one, looks like they're measuring the same. Yeah, 1 3/4 inches. So then I like to go to my pressing mat. Okay, so now we're at the pressing mat, and it might be hard to see on this mat. I didn't realize that. Anyway, you're going to have 1.5 inches on each side here, and you're just going to take and give that a little press out like so. And I just kind of scoot my ruler down as I go. I've got a half inch ruler here, so I can just scoot it along. And if you don't get it straight, it'll have a bubble in it. Just give it a nice little press. So now we're almost done. What you're going to do now is there's 2 different ways to do this, and I did it on the big one and I'll show you. You can either take the right sides and fold them together this way. Make sure that you match your 2 seams there because you want it to be nice and even. And we're going to stitch it across the end. or you can go this way and match your backs. So here's the big one that I made. So on this end of the runner, I took and I matched the back together. Again, making sure that everything's lined up nicely here, because you are going to see these, and you're going to stitch across the end, and then just turn that point right side out. And just poke it out there nicely. I usually trim the end there just so it pokes out nicely. And then give it a nice press on the end. And then you can either top stitch across here, you can sew a little button there, or just hand stitch it along there, whatever you like to do, whatever's easiest. If you're giving it away quickly, you may want to just stitch it. On the other end, we'll do this way. I'll show you. You're going to match the right sides together, making sure that that seam matches again. Stitch across the end and poke this out. So when this one is done, your little point is to the back. This way, your point is to the front. So it's entirely up to you how you want them to look. It's just a nice, quick, and easy way to finish off the ends. So here we are with both the ends together. So you pick which one you like the best, if you want it to be facing in or you want it to be facing out. It gives two totally different looks. So that's my table runner for today, and I want to wish everybody a happy Canada Day.